Welcome to Moto Smartphones channel. The 2024 version of Motorola's Moto G Stylus 5G is here, and it packs some meaningful upgrades over its predecessor, making it a better mid-range phone of 2024. But as usual, the most vital selling point is the built-in stylus, which Motorola has made even more responsive this year. The good news is that this generation has a new camera that performs surprisingly well compared to the Moto G Most Vitellis. If you choose the new G Stylus, you'll get the best battery life on the market today and other notable benefits. Should you buy the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024? The Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 is unique compared to other Moto G launches this year. It has an excellent design, a high-quality OLED display, a solid, promisingly decent primary camera, fantastic battery life, and good charging options. I'm getting all this for $400, probably a lot less. Pros: stylus included. Makes it a good phone for notes. Large and bright display, stylish vegan leather back, fast charging, excellent battery life. Cons: ordinary camera, limited Android updates. Design: the 2024 generation Moto G Stylus 5G has a complete design overhaul. The back panel is no longer plastic, featuring a softer vegan leather silicone surface that is naturally less prone to slipping in your hand or pocket. The frame is still plastic, so it doesn't feel as premium overall. The camera island appears to be a bed cover with vegan leather contouring the edges and gently placed on top. This is the same approach and look we saw on Motorola's premium Edge 50 series launched earlier this year. The island is also more significant than the previous generation, allowing it to accommodate larger lenses for the primary and ultra-wide cameras. In terms of size, the new Moto G Stylus 5G is significantly thinner and lighter than its predecessor, with a circumference of 8.3 millimeters and a weight of 190 grams compared to the 2023 G Stylus's 9.2 millimeters and 220 grams. However, we can safely say that with this change, the 2024 G Stylus 5G feels more comfortable in the hand. Display: the Moto G Stylus 5G display was already pretty good, especially with its 120 Hz refresh rate. That said, it lacked contrast and color. Fortunately, Motorola added an OLED panel this time, replacing the previous LCD panel. The new display looks much better, as you would expect when switching to OLED. I enjoyed watching videos and Netflix shows while commuting to work. I was also surprised to see how noticeable the 2024 G Stylus display was outdoors. Therefore, a suggestion was made to Motorola to increase the brightness level. Camera Moto G phones aren't known for their excellent photography capabilities. The best-case scenario is that the onboard camera can capture enough photos to share with friends and family. To make this happen, the Moto G Stylus 5G uses a 50-megapixel primary sensor that supports 2x zoom with a crop for close-ups, a 13-megapixel ultra-wide camera that can also be used as a macro lens completes the rear camera array. While discussing strengths, let's look at the Moto G Stylus's macro mode, which gives a pretty striking close-up of a rose. Seeing the focus accurately was impressive, especially considering it was a very windy day and the flowers swayed in the wind. I expected a lot of blurriness, but the close-ups were rich in detail and crystal clear. Performance: Motorola has decided to offer the 2024 G Stylus 5G with the same Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 chipset featured in the 2023 model. This is a way to keep the price the same as last year, so we can see a few other upgrades on the spec sheet. Despite its rather old, low-end chipset, the 2024 Moto G Stylus was quite decent in day-to-day use. It handled mobile gaming well, although I had to tone it down on some settings. More taxing applications like Lightroom Mobile InShot and CapCut were also available. You now get 8 gigabytes of RAM instead of the previous 6 gigabytes. However, the storage situation remains the same, with 256 gigabytes of internal storage and the option to increase that storage via micro SD card up to 2 terabytes. Battery life: To test the Motorola Moto G Stylus's 5,000 mAh battery, we set the display to maximum brightness and played an HD video from YouTube over Wi-Fi. In this scenario, the phone lasted up to 22 hours, and there were significant improvements over the previous model, which managed 13. The Moto G Stylus supports 30-watt fast-wired charging and 15-watt wireless charging, but it needs to provide its charger. For comparison, the Pixel 8a offers wired and wireless charging speeds of 18 watts and 7.5 watts, respectively. Software. The Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 runs Android 14 out of the box with a few aesthetic changes that make the software feel slightly lighter and less like a Pixel. This includes a redesigned quick settings panel. It has a new look with a more compact view, an excellent transparent background, One UI, a slightly redesigned settings menu, and an expanded sidebar that lets you quickly add more apps, access, fingerprint sensor animation, etc. Unfortunately, even though AI accesses technology, you won't find much in the way of AI here. This may be due to ChipHipsy's limited capabilities. Still, you get access to the new Gemini app, even though the Motorola Razr Plus doesn't have it. Motorola has a new AI wallpaper feature that creates wallpaper from a photo on your computer gallery. The phone also supports Ready for Updates with Smart Connect. This allows you to connect your phone to a PC or an external display to do exciting things, like mirroring your phone's display, creating a new instance of your phone on a second display, moving files between devices, and sharing peripherals like mouse and keyboard between PCs, tablets, and mobile phones. Of course, the downside to the name Moto G is, once again, that Motorola has made no effort to provide significant updates to this phone. The company promises one OS upgrade to Android 15, which will undoubtedly arrive later this year, and 3 years of security updates. Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. Other specs. The Moto G Stylus supports sub-6 GHz 5G insignificant C-band on all major carriers in the US, but does not support the ultra-fast millimeter wave spectrum, which is available in some regions. It is available both unlocked and through your carrier. For comparison, the Pixel 8a supports all forms of 5G. You can use an eSIM with the Moto G Stylus, but I opted for a physical T-Mobile SIM card. That carrier doesn't offer comprehensive coverage in my area, so the phone only managed down to 30.1 megabits per second and up to 1.22 megabits per second. The Moto G Stylus supports Wi-Fi 5, not the newer Wi-Fi 6E or 7 protocols. When connected to a Wi-Fi 6 router, speeds were 131 megabits per second down and 9.32 megabits per second up. The call quality is good. The phone does an excellent job of minimizing background noise, including wind and rain. In our testing, the earpiece reached 76.5 decibels, and the speaker maxed out at 990.5 decibels. The speaker gets loud enough to fill a small room, but for a better audio experience, you'll need to connect wired headphones via the 3.5mm headphone jack or wireless headphones via Bluetooth 5.1. Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 price. The 2024 Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G offers a brighter display and longer-lasting battery than its predecessor for just $399.99, and the built-in stylus is still its main selling point. Conclusion. The Moto G Stylus is the best in the Moto G series. You'll get your money's worth with features like a 120 Hz display, stylish design, and long battery life. The 2024 model's brighter display addresses one of the biggest complaints about the previous version and the stylus. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel.